Salutations. What's up, gang? What's up? It's Shamika at She Lives Well, and welcome to my page. Today I wanted to talk about a very unique topic. I think it's unique. But I wanted to talk about this topic for a very important reason. I'm going to have little props and stuff to assist me in this conversation or this talk that I'm having with you. Okay. All right. So, for those who do not know who I am Shamika Manuel, certified yoga instructor, life transformation consultant, and author of She Lives, the Revival of the Goddess. If you have not gotten your copy, go ahead and order your copy. Go to www.shelives.com. Now, in this book, I talk about the 5 dimensions of rebirthing your divine power. Some people call it divine feminine power. Some people are calling it divine or sacred feminine power. You know, it's that power that's within you that is like your source of life. It's your source of breath. It's your source, okay? Now, we have to learn how to rebirth that sometimes, because in life, we lose this sometimes. We lose it, and we have to learn how to get it back. Now, the book that I have, She Lives, the Revival of the Goddess, talks about reclaiming or rebirthing this divine power so that you can conquer the effects of abusive relationships, toxic belief systems, and unhealthy mentalities. Okay. Now, in this book, I take the reader through the 5 dimensions of rebirthing their goddess power. We're going to call it goddess power, okay? Rebirthing their goddess power. Because it's so important. Like because it talks about after abusive or toxic relationships. And I know some people don't consider, at first I never considered my old relationship to be abusive or anything, but it was, and I didn't know that, because a lot of times in life, we see it as the norm because we've watched our mothers go through abuse and didn't know it was abuse. It just was the norm. We saw our aunties, our grandmothers, our great grandmothers. We saw this happen. And it's not just women who saw this. I've talked to several men who have witnessed their grandmothers, their mothers get abused. And it was the norm. I talked to men who watched this, and some of them, they are the sweetest guys, or not sweet in a bad way, but the nicest guys, they take care, they know how to take care of a woman. They protect the woman as if they're protecting their grandmother from their grandfather back in the day. And then there are others who take on their grandfather's behavior, and they become abusive too, right? And this same thing happens with women. The same thing happens with women. Sometimes we are the ones who get abused because we've seen it, and we program it in our subconscious mind as this is just normal. This is just how it's supposed to be. This is just the life I live. I'm a woman. I'm supposed to allow this to happen, whatever, right? And then there are some women who become abusive, right? So that's just how life is, and we all have to learn, and we all have to grow. We all have to go through whatever it is that we go through in life, and we have to learn how to become better and learn how to heal. Now, in this book, I talk about getting your power back, getting your mental power back, getting your physical power back, getting your spiritual, your emotional, your social, all of that, your intellectual, your environmental, your occupational, and yes, occupational. Trust me, there is a need to get your occupational power back. And a lot of women are doing that right now because they are on top of their game when it comes to their jobs, and it comes to occupation, it comes to financial. They're on top of it. But there are steps that you have to take to get back there, especially if you've lost it. Okay. And last but not least, your eco-literal. Now, if you don't know what that is, go on and get the book. I explain it in the book. Okay. She Lives, the Revival of the Goddess. You can go to shelives.com to order your book. Okay. Now, as you know, I am going to talk about reclaiming your power. There are so many ways that you can reclaim your power, and just because I may say something, mention things in the book, that does not mean it is law. Okay, I'm sharing my story. I share my story of how I reclaimed my power and how I got my stuff back. Okay, now in this book, okay, here's the book here. Okay, I talk about. Hold on, let me get to it. I talk about various aspects of the goddess, or you can say of the woman. And in one particular area, I talk about the nature of the goddess, because that is one area that we have to learn how to remember. We have to remember the nature, the nature of a goddess. And I talk about various things that you can do to remember the nature of the goddess. One of the things I talk about is, trying to get to it, is developing self-mastery. Learning how to master yourself is very important when you're trying to get back to that nature of goddess, that feminine power, that feminine energy, that softness, that nurturing side of you. You have to learn how to develop self-mastery. And in this book, I talk about a few strategies that I use to help me develop self-mastery. Now, do I have it down pat? Yes. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm telling you guys, listen, I know how to do certain things. I know how to master myself, okay? Also, too, another thing you can do is reconnect with nature. Now, there are several ways that you can reconnect with nature. You can go outside. You can stand on the ground barefooted. Stand and breathe. And just breathe. Allow that power of the breath to do its thing, okay? Learn how to breathe properly too, because a lot of times we don't breathe right. We don't breathe right. We become chest breathers or shallow breathers, and we definitely have to learn how to breathe properly, okay? Now, hold on, guys. Okay, so another thing, okay, so reconnecting with nature, that's just one way that you can reconnect with nature. A few other things that you can do. You can use holistic approaches. You can do yoga. Yoga is a good way to reconnect with your nature. Tai Chi, Reiki, so many other things, massages, and so many things. But anyway, I want to get to I'm trying to push through and get to a particular topic that I wanted to talk about today. Also, too, you can take holistic approaches. A few holistic approaches are sound healing. You can do mantras, herbalism, flower essence. Have you ever just walked into a room that had a whole bunch of flowers or plants and just it lifted your mood? It can change your whole way you think about life. Okay, it brings life to you. Okay. Also, too, now this is what I wanted to get to. When we talk about remembering the nature of the goddess, I want to talk about crystal healing. Okay. I'm closing the book now. I want to talk about crystal healing. Wait, let me look and see. Yeah. So I mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I mentioned seven crystals and gemstones that you can use that are going to help you regain your power and help you balance and help you open up. And these gemstones and crystals that are in the book are in alignment with the 7 chakras. Even though I talk about the 9 chakras, in here I only list, when it comes to the crystals, I align them with the 7 chakras. Okay. Now, as you guys can see, I have my crystals on. Now I'm not a huge crystal wearing person. You will not always see me wearing crystals, and I'm going to share with you why. Okay, and that's the reason why I'm making this video. The whole purpose of me making this video is the why I do not always wear crystals and gemstones. Okay, but we're going to talk about a few of these crystals and gemstones. Okay, now one of my favorites is amethyst. It's the purple. I love amethyst because my favorite color is purple. Okay, that's the only reason. I love amethyst, but amethyst is known to enhance your intuition. Is also spirituality. It helps you gain spirituality. It helps you calm your mind and your spirit. This one is used a lot in meditation. You'll see people with these, like they are huge. Okay, they have huge ones that they'll place in their meditation room. It's also good for protection, cleanliness, and inspiration. And I like the color, honestly. Above all that, I love the color. Okay, so if you see me wearing amethyst, trust and believe. Oh, she just loved purple. And I'm gonna show you a few my earrings. One of my favorite earrings is this. Why is my favorite? Because it's purple. Okay, but these are amethyst as well. Actually, someone gave these to me as a gift, and I think they are so beautiful. Okay, so that is amethyst, and I know a lot of people are familiar with that one. Now, the second one I want to talk about, I have these, but I can't find them. I have no idea where they are, but I have one of them is in a yoni egg, and it's called the rose quartz. Rose quartz is amazing when it comes to opening up your heart. That's what they say. It helps you open up your heart. It helps you gain self-love, self-acceptance. And listen, when you're talking about self-love, self-acceptance is so important because I believe, this is my belief, self-love is about loving yourself unconditionally. That means loving yourself without all the cover-ups. You got to take that hair off. You got to take those lashes off. You got to take off the eyeliner, the mascara, the lipstick, everything, the foundation. Everything needs to come off, and you look yourself in the mirror. Look yourself in the mirror. See yourself. See yourself and learn to love that person without all of the false images of beauty. Learning to love that person. And that's what self-acceptance, you have to get to that. You have to gain that self-acceptance in order to get to self-love. Okay. Now, another thing about self-love is, on my self-love journey, it wasn't just about me. In the beginning, yes, I had my rose quartz egg up in. I would put it in my yoni, and I would wear that egg until it's time to take it out, because I was working on loving myself. Okay. Now, another thing it helps with is it helps attract love into your life. But if you're not loving yourself, then you're not going to attract any type of love from the outside. It's not until you really gain that true, authentic love within you that you're going to attract that true, authentic love without you. Okay? The one that's on the outside. That love that we all been, programmed to want. Prince Charming. Knight in shining armor. Oh, okay. You feel me? So you have to get to the point where you are truly loving who you are. You're loving everything about you. Not just the good things, but the not so good things too. You gotta love it. You have to love it. Okay. Now the next one is citron. Citron. This is citron. This is it's known for abundance and creativity. It I can't remember where I got this from, but it had a little list that came with it. Prosperity and success. It also helps with wealth, and motivation. So sometimes when I was really, going for all of those things, I would just meditate with this in my hand, or I put it in my, in my broad chest or whatever, and just meditate and breathe. Right? Those are things I did. Okay, now let's talk about this ring here. Yeah, I see my rings, right? We're going to talk about a few of them. This is turquoise, and it's good for communication. When you're trying to get to the point where you are expressing yourself, this is about self-expression. This is about learning to open your throat chakra so that you can speak your truth. That's what this is good for. Well, they say it's good for speaking your truth. You know what I'm saying? Communication is good for also balance and calmness. Okay. Now that's turquoise. And I used to love this. I had bracelets and, you know, all kinds of stuff to go with that one. Now let's talk about, let's see which one is next. Let's talk about this red jasper. Red jasper, it strengthens your organs, so they say. I like it because it has the copper around it too. We're going to talk about copper later. But this one, it blocks hostility. Okay. So I guess when I wear this, I'm not supposed to get mad, right? That's what they say. Now, this is good for blocking hostility. It's good for courage and health. It's also good for strength. All right. Oh, I'm going to do this one. I think this is the Oblivion. I think it is. It's like one of my favorites. I don't know why I can't remember right now. And it's only one of my favorites. The same reason why the amethyst is the color. I love black. Black is beautiful to me. Okay. I love black. Obsidian. Yeah. Okay. So this is good for protection, right? So when you want to you feel like you're feeling a little weak and vulnerable, which vulnerability is not always bad, but it depends on who you're around when you're vulnerable and you feel in that state. You want to protect yourself and you need something outside of you to protect you. This one. Okay. All right. Let me see which one I want to do next. Let's talk about okay, so now we're going to talk about copper. This is copper. I also have on copper earrings. So copper is told to help the body make red blood cells and keeps the nerve cells and the immune cells healthy. That's what we're told that it does. Okay. All right. So you want to do that? Cover your body with some copper. All right. So next I want to talk about this. This is one of my favorites too. Not because of the color or anything. I just like it. It has like a glow. You know, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it has like this glow to it. I love it. It's the moonstone. It's the moonstone. And this stone is, it represents new beginnings. New beginnings. Anybody who read my book, that's what this book is about. New beginnings. When I released this book, it had been 10 years since I had left my relationship that I was in. And 10 is the number for new beginnings, okay? So I was starting a new beginning. I had created a whole new beginning, y'all. If y'all saw me back 10 years ago, you would not know who I am, okay? I was totally different. I had lost myself. And I had to find myself again, and I did that. And not only did I find myself, I was able to enhance myself. I was able to empower myself in so many ways, okay? So moonstone is also good for inner growth and strength. It helps with feeling emotionally, like if you're feeling emotionally insecure, you can put this on, take a deep breath, let it come out. And just doing that and keep doing that until you feel emotionally stable. Because y'all know we lose our minds sometimes. Sometimes our hearts get broken and we just can't take it. It's too emotional. Get that moonstone going, okay? All right. As you guys can see, my earrings, I'm going back to the earrings, right? And it's copper. But you also notice something else about these earrings. Can you see them? Y'all see them? Okay, you notice that these earrings are like a snake, right? We're going to talk about it today, okay? We're talking about it today. And I remember there was a time that I stayed away from anything that looked like a snake. Anything that looked like a snake, I stayed away from it. Why? Because I had been taught that it was the symbol of sin. I had been taught that the snake is the symbol of the serpent and evil and death. But as I began to do my own studies, and I went beyond, like the culture that brought me, that taught me those things was a baby culture, a baby belief system. And I had to go beyond that belief system to get truth about these things that I was taught. And one thing I've learned about the snake is that in ancient times, the snake was not a symbol of evil. The snake was not a symbol of danger. It was, in fact, a symbol of feminine wisdom. You will, like, if you do your studies on, and now it's almost like you have to be very careful, because now they're trying to demonize a lot of things that had been uncovered. A lot of the cultures, prehistoric, they acknowledge the goddess, right? They acknowledge feminine power, wisdom. They had goddesses that they worship, right? And it was powerful. It empowered women. But when you take that power away, when you strip people of their culture, you strip them of their power, and you give them something else that they cannot relate to. And you tell them that old thing is so evil, and that's what has happened with us. We've been taught that so many things are evil, just so that we can stay away from them, so that we will not know our power that lives within us. The snake was not a symbol of evil. The snake was not a symbol of danger. This happened after patriarch, I guess it was, took over and corrupted the world and taught us all the things that could empower us, taught us that they demonized it. They demonized it. And especially for us Black people, they made us stay away from our own cultures, from our own rituals, from our own things that can empower us. But that's only to keep the mind enslaved. And that's what it's all about. So today, I understand that the snake is a symbol of fertility, of rebirth, of renewal, and even healing. Yes, healing. Okay? Healing. If you really study a snake, you will understand that. And that's what the prehistoric, the ancient people, that's what they knew. They studied it. They knew it. Okay? Now, I talked about all of these things. I talked about all of the crystals. I talked about the copper. I talked about the snake. Now, as I said, that these crystals and these gemstones and, all of these things can help us on our journey. But all of these things have one particular thing in common. It's one thing in common that all of these have. Actually, it's one thing that gives them power. That's what I meant to say. It's one thing that gives the red jasper power. It's one thing that gives the moonstone power. It's one thing that gives, I don't even remember what it is, the turquoise power, the citron power, the amethyst power. One thing gives it power. One thing. And that thing lives within us. So I'm saying all this to say that you have to get to the understanding and understanding that you don't need these things to power you. You don't need these things to empower you. You don't need these things outside of yourself to give you the spirituality that you need, to give you the calmness, the protection, to give you the meditation that you're looking for, to give you the self-love. You don't have to wear rose quartz just to gain self-love. You don't have to wear rose quartz just to attract the love outside of yourself. You don't have to do that. If I walk around, and which I do, walk around without jewelry, a lot of times, without crystals, without gemstones. Again, I wear these now because fashion. Because it's cute, because it looks good, because the color goes, it means, it meshes with what I have on. I don't wear them to give me power. Because one thing I know is that the power that they give me, I already got it. It's my mind that gives them power. It's the mind that gives the red jasper the power to strengthen the organs. It's my mind that gives the turquoise the power to help me communicate. It's my mind that's doing all of that. So at the end of the day, in my book, I talk about that. I talk about with the first thing you have to, I talk about 9 rooms, but the first room you have to get back together is your mind. You have to learn how to restore your mind, restore your memory of who you are, your identity. You have to remember who you are. You got to remember what you are made of, your source. It's not these things. It's not the amethyst. It's not the citrine. It's not this stuff. I'm not made of that. Matter of fact, that stuff already lives in me. I don't have to wear it on the outside. I got it inside of me. Everything that's in the universe is inside of me. So why should I have to wear all these things? No. It's called detachment. Learning to detach from all those things outside of you. It's important. Because you don't want those things to consume you. Because you get to the point where you're wearing all these things that are, that you believe are empowering you, giving you strength, giving you wisdom, giving you spirituality, giving you protection. And the day you can't find it, you feel like, oh my God, I feel powerless. I feel like I don't have the self-love. I don't have this, I don't have that. No, you got that. Because it's in you. You don't need those things. Those things are to adorn you, adorn your body, to make it look good. That's it. Okay? Now, in this book, in chapter 4, I talk about restoring her mental power. The mind of the goddess, restoring her mental power through self-awareness. In this book, I also say the mind is the place where all things begin. And that's how I want to end this video. The mind is the place where all things begin. Your beliefs about these crystals and these gemstones, it begins in the mind. So if you want to be powerful, if you want to build spirituality, intuition, if you want to feel protected, start hearing your mind. Start thinking, I am protected. Start thinking, I am loved. Start thinking, I am intuitive. Start thinking, I am healed. You have everything inside of you. You don't need anything outside of you to heal. It's all in your mind. All healing begins in the mind. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Please share this video because somebody out here needs that message. Somebody is out here searching for healing outside of themselves and they don't even realize I am that shit. I am healing. They need to get there. So make sure you share this video. Thanks again for watching and like, okay? Subscribe to this channel, okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Peace.
I am awakened because she lives and I'm living new. I'm living new. I'm feeling new. I'm feeling new. Oh yeah, I'm new. Oh yeah, everything is new. Everything is new. I got a new walk with my new talk, with my new talk, new look, even wrote a new book, I got a new mind. It came with this new body. I'm giving y'all this new energy, cause it's a new type of party. I'm on a new journey, walking in my new shoes, and I found a new love with my same old boo. Thank you for making me new. I'm living new, I'm feeling new.